good evening, good afternoon, and welcome, one and all. My name is Michael. I'm the Dentalsy Gamer, and welcome to Pathfinder 2nd Edition, the 7 Dooms for Sandpoint. Joining me today are my wonderful and amazing Patreons who help support the channel, keep the lights on, and allow us to do this cool, fun, amazing, and wonderful thing we call role-playing. Guys, say hello to the folks at home.
Hello. Hey, everyone.
It's so good to see you all. It's so fantastic. As you can see, that we've got a different sort of setup here for a variety of good reasons, which, just real quick. Oh no. That was not what I meant to do. I know what vertical and horizontal mean.
And there's me thinking it was the height of the hero points
And
for
then
Clinton and
it's-
Vander.
John, I will kill your fucking character and make it look like an accident. Alright, there we go. Because now John is looking towards the party, and so is everyone else, and that makes the thing. Thank you, Dead.
Hey.
Alright. So, now, yes, we're playing Pathfinder 2nd Edition, and as you notice, there's a bit of a change. Unfortunately, our dear friend Rock Protector has had to, for various circumstances, step away from the table. Just the timing and, stuff have made it difficult. So we have now a free slot on our Friday's 7 Dooms for Sandpoint game. We've also been missing Sean for a little while, so we're going to have a conversation with Sean. Not a bad one, just a check to see if he's okay as well. So there may potentially be a second seat available for 7 Dooms for Sandpoint. So, fancy stuff. We'll figure that out. But for the time being, however, look at these 4 gorgeous and lovely people. They're going to be the ones who we throw into the fire pit today. And we're all excited to play games. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So before we start off, we have some people to thank for bringing us, obviously, the show in the quality that you guys see it. First of all, we have HeroForge for the wonderful art you see on screen here. All the character tokens are made using HeroForge, and it's amazing 3D model making software that allows you not only design and create characters, but also 3D print them and have them shipped to you anywhere in the world, which is amazing. Which is freaking awesome. We then, of course, have Sirenscape for the wonderful sound effects you will hear throughout the course of the game, because every epic game deserves to sound epic as well. So Sirenscape has like a huge amount of sounds that are available through their soundboard, and if you haven't checked it out, highly recommend. Then we have, of course, our VTT of Choice Fantasy Grounds, which allows us to connect from all around the world in order to gather together around the campfire and share tales and stories and adventures with one another. So, yeah, there we go. Those are our sponsors.
Yeah.
And then we have, of course, even in any kind of good role-playing game, there is, of course, the Dungeon Master, who is in charge of narrating and arbitrating the rules and all this other stuff. But the protagonists of our adventure, the characters whom we are rooting for victory and glory, are our lovely players. And to tell you about these heroes, I'm going to give the ball over to them. Let them tell you about their characters and what they are going to be embarking on in today's session. So take it away, Cinderio, aka Schooly Eye.
Yes. The still naive and ever hopeful priestess, who has had several misfortunes from growing up in the town, between the being burned through the unpleasantness that actually destroyed part of the cathedral, and ended up being I'm getting distracted by that. And getting distracted and raised by Father Xantus himself, dedicating her life to trying to redeem what was previously thought to be the unredeemable. And it's effectively on what at times feels like a one-woman mission to show that everything is worthy of life and worship under the sun.
Except them filthy goblins, right, Matt?
Yeah, we just got to exterminate them. Get rid of them. They're too much. They're just. Yeah, let's just commit like a small genocide.
Yeah, we'll just build. Just put together some trains, put them all on it.
Who's after the goblins?
Anyway,
Did you just advocate the construction of death camps for goblins, Jack?
what? No, I just said they should go on a very short trip on a train with showers. That's all.
Which
Yeah.
is a bit
Okay.
when we
Yeah.
come to the
Yep.
recap.
Obviously. Yes.
Anyway, Holocaust
Mm.
jokes aside,
Mm.
next up we have playing the role of Westonson is our dear friend Avarian CA.
Well, I am a variant CA, judge of GMs that make death camp jokes. I'm playing Westonson, a dwarf guard from a neighboring city who has wandered into the town of Sandpoint and is now beginning to question why he wandered into Sandpoint and quite possibly how he could wander out of Sandpoint. Anyway, we are exploring the depths of sobriety now in a new and fun and aggravating trip for Westonson. Yeah, generally, that's where the happy dwarf sits right now. And
That was really funny.
dwarfs.
I kind of imagine just from your intro, right? Do you mind if I play out this like just this scene for some reason?
Or
Okay. So here we go. Perfect. It's the morning. Dawn rises in the distance. There's a large balcony, and Westonson steps out onto it. He's wearing his bathrobe. He has a cup of coffee. He looks out and sees the city of Sandpoint. Sees its pristine waters. Sees the people moving around the streets. You know, people waving at him from the street, you know, below from where his apartment happens to be. He smiles and lets loose a big sigh as he, you know, sort of just breathes in the atmosphere of the town and the city and his people. Then, as he takes another sip, he hears a knock on the door. Hears Peyton, but just drowns it out, like, you know, just doesn't pay, you know, just fades into the distance. He looks up at the sky, you know, up into the sky and sees like this flock of birds flying past. He, you know, kind of remembers Magnamar seeing the same flock of birds, or, you know, a similar one, over the cityscape that is there, and now looks down, away from the hustle and bustle, the noise and the traffic and the merchants, to the quiet town of Sandpoint. And as he does so, he takes another sip of his coffee before taking his coffee cup and throwing it into the streets as it smashes to tiny bits and goes, "This is fucking shit! I miss whiskey!" And who the fuck bangs on your door at 7 in the morning? Who the fuck is up at 7 in the morning? You're fucking crazy, fucking townsfolk bumpkin motherfuckers!
few notes.
Yeah.
I've never had a room in the inn. The innkeeper refused to lend me a room when I asked for one, so I've been sleeping in the barn. Point number 2. No one has said good morning or hello to Westonson when he wakes up in the morning. Most of them yell at him and chase him around. Several people have kicked him out of their store.
Fair. Yeah.
So a few modifications to the
Yeah.
picturesque opening.
Yeah, no, I love the. I'll take those notes. I'll keep them safe.
And it is Irish coffee.
No, it's well, not anymore because you're sober.
That's true.
That's
Although-
that's why you're so cantankerous and why you're up early in the morning.
What dwarf wakes up on coffee?
It's like, how did I wake up? How am I not still drunk and unconscious? Anyway.
What's this morning bullshit?
Yeah. Oh my God! Why is it so bright out? It's because it's morning. What's morning? It's that happens before the afternoon. Can we drink in the morning? No. Morning sounds feckin' stupid.
Stupid.
Alright. Next up, we have, playing the role of Peyton, is none other than our dear friend Neil from Emerging Division. Hi, Neil.
Hello. Hi. How are you?
Hi.
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 I am Hi.
Oh my
I
God,
played
God,
Peyton.
Neil. If I didn't
I know.
realize it was this easy
Rogue.
to trap you in a game, I've been trying way too hard in my D&D games.
Yes, I play Peyton. He is a rogue. He is a thug. Um, when he wants to be, but he's failing at it miserably. Um, and yeah, he's currently trying to figure out how he can better the party and helping them in the pit. So,
Mm-hmm.
asked to by Nualia, the undead spirit of Nualia, I should say, as his old best friend at a younger age. He's helping her out, even though she kind of also helped just attack Sandpoint in the past. So,
What do you mean help? She coordinated it.
well, you know what I mean. She coordinated it, and so Peyton's kind of back and forth.
Don't make it seem like she brought subways for everyone, on the day. Like she kind of sort of helped out a little bit, but she was really a cool. No. She united
Yeah.
the goblins of the mushfins, and then formulated a plan to infiltrate using the secret tunnels of her father's glassworks to attack Sandpoint, surprise them from behind in an attempt to burn them as an offering to her god. Like let's be clear on that. Let's not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, Peyton's here to take out the Seven Dooms if he can to help protect the town he grew up in. So
Peyton going out for pasta with the Sandpoint Devil. Okay, I'm done.
If Peyton turned out to be the Sandpoint Devil, I swear.
I mean,
I was going to say, doesn't it have a dinner date with Cinderella, technically?
probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and last but certainly not least, playing the role of Navanda is our dear friend Matt from All Things Fantasy.
Good morning. It's great to be here. Yes, I play. I was expecting. I saw the dagger open his mouth, and I'm like, "Is there something he's going to say?" No, just kind of
I
sounds.
wasn't. I was just waiting. I was with bated breath, is what it was.
Well, let's keep hold of that bated breath, shall we?
No.
So I play Navanda, a rancher here in the Sandpoint hinterlands, married to the Elven Ranger Shalelu. He is being tasked by Father Xantus and Mayor Kendra Devon to protect the town of Sandpoint by diving into the pit and uncovering all that is happening. Unlike everyone else in the party who's trying to find a way to make sure Nuali is forgiven, Navanda believes that the Seven Dooms approaching Sandpoint are actually Nuali's fault, as in she has set Seven Dooms upon Sandpoint to try to cleanse it of its evil. Well, of its evil.
Evil.
Evil. So his goal is to go into the pit, eradicate the evil, confront Nualia, and hopefully send her back into the afterlife once again to punish for eternity.
Nice. Beautiful. Love it. All right. Well, with that being said, as always, we have one last person to thank before we start the show, and that is, of course, our lovely audience members. Guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting the show, allowing us to do these cool, wacky, fun, and amazing things. There are a number of ways you can support the channel while we play, and, they're just fun little things that we do to keep, my players and me on my toes. First of all, just by watching the show, you earn channel points that can be used at any point in time in order to influence the game. These things can be things like insight bonuses, inspiration, wandering monsters, wandering bosses, and so much more. So check those out. Channel points are free to earn. You just earn them from watching. So, yeah, there you go. Subscribers, you do earn channel points a little quicker. So if you do want to, then, hey, consider subscribing. We then have our monetary donations, which all go towards the DAG survival check for the month, which just covers things like bills and, lighting and sound and all that other jazz. All the behind-the-scenes things. For $5, we can provide a red mark to a player of your choice or a purple mark to me. But my players are all full up. and I haven't been doing enough to knock them down, so I'm going to have to fix that. But yeah, hero points my players can use to stave off death, petition the DM for nonsense that isn't in the rules, or roll with advantage. Jinx points I can use to counteract hero points, make bad guys roll with advantage, and complicate things in a very small and minor way. For $10, I will draw from one of 2 decks of cards I have in front of me. The first deck of cards is a deck of heroic actions, a group of random free action powers that a player of your choosing will get, and it will also serve as a secondary hero point. I heard that, Cookie. Thank you for letting me know. You're a treasured and valued member of our group, and I'm now increasing my volume. Thank you, Cookie. Where was that? Yes. So yeah, plot twist. No, this is the plot twist one. Haha, look, $10. So $10, the other deck that I will draw from is the plot twist deck, and I just lost my headphone thing. It's somewhere now. That's okay. I just can't hear anyone anyway. These are plot twists. The plot twist can be used at any point in time. Well, basically, I will draw 3 cards. You will select one of them, and the plot twist will effectively be inserted in some way, shape, or form to the best of my abilities into the game while we are playing. This keeps me on my toes and, kind of make sure that our games, sort of stay fresh and, lively and stuff like that. Because they honestly sometimes throw an absolute wrench into whatever the hell I'm doing. So there you go, plot twists. Then, of course, for $20, you can give someone the coveted golden natural 20. Again, everyone's loaded up but me. I've got one more that I can potentially get. But it is a critical success or a sterling success, depending on what the group is doing. Because sometimes when you describe things and want to be awesome, you need a little thing to help you out with that. So, there we go. Thank you, Cass. Love you, Cass. Mwah. Do safe things. Make good choices. Then, of course, we have a $50 donation where there are 3 tiers of reward. One is a magic item to a player of your choice. The second is a increase to the difficulty of the challenge by a colossal amount, which we have one from last week that is carrying over. We have a boss buff from our dear friend Cookie Mon Steve that is there. Yes, boss buffs do stack, just FYI. And then, of course, we have our Harrow reading, where we will draw from the deck of Harrow cards. We will read our group's fortune, and if they try to achieve that fortune or reject that fortune, they will get a critical success when attempting that. Plus, the whole group will get a boost based on whatever statistic is associated with the card that they draw. So there's that. Then we have the $100 secret menu item. The $100 secret menu item for today is very interesting, actually. It will be a very special upgrade to Navander as a character. Ooh. Now, if those of you who have been following my channel and following the events that have been transpiring up until today, you would know that a secret menu item was claimed on our Curse of the Crimson Throne game. This reward was the revival of the Sable Company Marine unit. Now, in the traditional canon, the Sable Company Marines were dissolved and have disappeared into obscurity, and they are no more. Navander is a former member of the Sable Company Marines. The $100 secret menu item will be an entire story plot where a Sable Company Marine who has come out of hiding will come and try to recruit Navander back into the fold. He will also be provided with a bunch of special magic items, custom magic items, should I say, for himself and Maizu. That will, of course, be a symbol of gratitude from a grateful nation and a grateful city for his service, and expand upon the story and the things that come with being a member of the Sable Company Marines. But more on that when we get to it. But yes, it's a very, very big. Effectively, it's a couple of magic items plus potentially a new superpower, plus some story bits and story elements. So there you go. That's the whole thing. Okay. We all good? We ready? Can we get started?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. So, without any further ado, when last we left our epic heroes, the town of Sandpoint has been going through a few troubling times as of late. Since Father Xantus performed the ritual in order to summon the spirit of Nualia, a former enemy and former towns member, the town has seen a lot of activity that has come from our heroes having gone to deal with 7 dooms that apparently are coming for the town, but currently laying dormant in a place known as the Pit on the Devil's Plateau. The stirring of these monstrous and potentially evil forces has caused concern among the townsfolk. They've gathered in order to try and figure out what to do and how to confront the mayor and other members of the town's council in order to try and condemn the actions that have led to this, all stemming from Father Xantus and his seance with the dead. Necromancy has been thrown around a few times, but there you go. Now, as a banquet was held by Khan Scarnetti, a giant bulette, a monstrous land shark-like creature, attacked the town's, a townsfolk member, and solidified their belief that something does need to be done, and soon. To that end, a priest named Reagan has been invited to the town. A priest of Abdar, he seeks to replace Father Xantus permanently as the head priest of the Sandpoint Cathedral. Kind of seeing your old friend being outed by mob mentality, our heroes rose to their defense. With the assistance of Mayor Kendron, a decision was made. If Father Xantus can prove that he has guided spiritually and, kind of fulfilled his duties as a high priest, he can remain as the town of Sandpoint's priest. However, should he have failed both his town, as is suspected, and his duties as a priest of Desna, then Reagan, our ratfolk cleric of Abdar, will take over. Reagan turns to the group. So, 3 trials. I don't know why I'm playing multiple layers of music at the same time. That's kind of weird. I was thinking it was sounding weird, but I'm also like atonal, so I have problems hearing stuff.
I don't want to say anything because I was like, he's going on a.
No,
He's going.
It sounded surreal.
Yeah.
I just thought it was very orchestral with different sections going.
Yeah, maybe.
They were
maybe.
blending together quite well.
It wasn't terrible. I couldn't
for a
believe
second.
it.
I was like, wait.
All right. So, Reagan, let's just pull him up on board here. There we go. Reagan turns to our group and says, I don't want you to see me as some kind of villain here to ruin things between you and your friend. I simply wish to fulfill my duties as a spiritual leader, provided the opportunities given to me. And I can see you care greatly for Father Xantus. I agree that if you would like to serve as champions for the old priest, you may do so. But understand, sometimes it is better to allow things to transpire as they would. By failing these trials, we then can see that Father Xantus does need to rest. But I also will not stop you from lending your aid, for that in its own way is proof that he has reached and touched members of this community in a way that has, well, at the very least, shown support of his method of preaching the word of Desna. So the first trial, then.
Sorry, I didn't know if anyone wanted to go first.
Yeah.
It's fine.
So Dale's probably trying to say, oh, okay. She's trying to build up the nerve.
Good. The first trial, then. All priests must be able to provide counseling that is able to deal with and manage any measure of conflict within the community. seek out and resolve a conflict using the teachings of spiritualism and the lessons learned as members of the clergy. Oh, sorry, as member of the clergy, and that'll be your first task. Father Xantus turns to you all. I don't suppose any of you would be fighting, or no? Worth the shot. All right. Well, thank you, Reagan. I will prove my worth in more than one way. For now, however, I think it'd be best if I had not simply run door to door, finding out if there is conflict. My friends, if you would be so kind, seek out any troubles you think my spiritual guidance may be able to assist with, and I will come with haste.
Seeking out conflict? That shouldn't be too hard to do. That's your specialty, right, Peyton?
I mean, I tend to find it more than I, or yes, that is my specialty, I guess.
Very well. Be gone.
All right, I'll go.
Just you,
Be
Peyton?
gone.
All right.
I mean, if anyone else wants to come.
All right. Can I get chat to roll me, please, a D20?
Uh-oh.
I can already see it. Peyton's going to be the one that causes the conflict to be resolved.
Would not surprise me. Exclamation D20. Also, we have a secret menu item from Cookie Mon Steve. Cookie, you legend, you. Navander will be dealing with your thing in a moment.
We got a
maybe
9.
soon. Let's see. We got a 9. Oh, 9's not bad. 9's not bad. Any other D20s? Exclamation D20 in chat.
Oh. We got a 1.
Ooh, we got a 1 from Cross the
We got a
Stream. Oh, hi, Cross. How are you? Hope you're doing good, man.
17. Oh, and then we got a 20. And a 17.
Okay. We got another. We did get a 20?
Yeah, we got a 20, 17, 9, 1, and a 5.
Okay.
15. There's a lot.
All right, let me pull up the map of Sandpoint real quick. Let's see. I need a. Well, that's the view of Sandpoint.
I remember you originally showed us the GM copy that had all the buildings numbered.
Yeah, that's the one I want.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the one. Cool. Okay. I'd like one with the tags, though, which would be amazing. But it doesn't have tags. Does this have tags? No.
It's got the one tag, which I think is Misha's shop.
Oh, yes, that's where Maisha's workshop is. Yeah, yeah, that's fine. All right. So, you're currently at the cathedral, which is your location number 1. Where would you guys like to go to try and find conflict? Honestly, there are plenty of places.
I know a good place.
All right.
34.
34. Okay. Peyton has a good idea. You begin to follow, heading down towards the dockyard area. As you reach the docks, you find yourselves outside of what looks to be a market. Much like the Grocer Guild across the market square, the facade of this long building is open to the air. Here, locals seem to be sharing and selling 100 different type of fish and seafood and the like. The catch of the days are all fresh and the smell is invigorating. There is octopus, salmon, tuna, shellfish, abalone, and much more that people are. People, I mean, this time of day, it's still quite early in the morning. People are gathering stuff for the day. So yeah, it's pretty busy here at the moment. You can see that there is a number of individuals who are selling people from behind what looks to be walls of boxes of ice filled with fish and the like. And anyone who wishes to can make a society check.
Whoops. Ooh. Natural 20.
I
Wow.
was going to say, are we still second in everything else? Because we've not actually healed from our previous long rest.
Oh, sorry.
Right.
Yes, we will do the rest in a moment.
Phew.
Okay, one moment while I.
Get punched. I'm out.
Okay. Hey, yeah. Okay, one rest. There we go. Overnight rest. And everyone is healed up. Okay.
Hey.
So. Now, Peyton and Evander, the two of you still have old lingering wounds from the witch fire, so that you've still got the burn marks for the time being, as you have been cursed. So just FYI on that.
Yes.
Okay.
Unfortunately, Father Xantus has bigger priorities at the moment.
But just as a heads up as well. So there you go. All right.
Yeah.
So, with a natural 20. Now, the person in charge, the main fishmonger, is a man by the name of Turk Sturglas, right? Now, the Valmar family are the ones who run the markets here, or the Valdemar. But you've heard that Turk's wife had died ages ago. He doesn't talk about her, but it seems like there are a lot of bad memories. If you ever want to hear 5 minutes of the most creative profanity you've ever heard in your life, just ask him where she is and then brace yourself. That's the rumor that's associated with this location.
Well, I mean, talking to the group, would that constitute as a conflict? I mean,
Yeah, he definitely has some measure of, sort of unsettlement in his life and stuff. You could potentially talk to him. You could potentially,
yeah,
delve into that if you would like.
yeah, why not?
All right. You walk up, and okay.
Evander's probably not going to be part of this group.
Sure. Well, on
Might
that
hit
note,
just a little bit too close to home for him.
sure. So let's say that Peyton is over here at the market. Where is Navander going to stick around in the area and just keep an eye out, or is Navander going to try and do
Evander
something
will
else?
stick in the area. He also has another idea, but he wants to see where Peyton's going with this one first.
All right, not a problem. All right, I got everything I need. Look at that, improvising quests and stuff.
Yeah.
Fresh fish! Fresh fish! Ah, Peyton, please, come. Fresh catch of the day. Some of the best sea bream you're ever going to find.
Ooh,
He points at some of the sea bream.
smells good. Smells like fish, but smells good.
Well, yep, that's because they're fish. But I'll do you a great price. Normally these come to like 4 copper pieces. I'll do you a set of 2 for 4.
Ooh, copper, you said?
Yeah.
You know what? Sure thing. All right, I give him 4 copper for 2 sea bream. I'm sure they'll be great for dinner later.
All right, he hands you 2 of the biggest, juiciest ones and takes your money. And he says, all right, thank you for your business. Fish, fresh fish.
GM, just because I was writing down his name at the time, and what was the rumor again? It was about his wife.
That if you ask him about his wife and where she is, he will cuss you out like it's no one's business.
Does
Fresh
this guy seem like...
Fish.
Does this guy seem like a... I don't know how to word it, but like, does he look pretty strong? Does he look like he could throw me about, like, if I pissed him off?
I mean, probably, yeah. I mean, he seems. I mean, I wouldn't say he's like built like a brick shithouse, but like, you know, he looks like he can hold his own in a fight. You know, like kind of, you know, a little tougher than your average barfly brawl, you know, kind of fighter, but you know, definitely not a adventurer for sure.
Okay. Because seeing this guy just be about his normal daily life, Peyton's now rethinking. It's like maybe
daily life.
I shouldn't. Maybe he's just thinking to himself, maybe I shouldn't bring up his missing wife, because you know. So he's just kind of, he's like, thank you for the fish, and then
You're
he'll
welcome.
head off.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Fish.
Peyton thinks, dang it.
Goes back to seeing Daryl and the others.
Yeah.
He said, I bought some fish.
I go back, I'm like, I couldn't ask him. It just seemed like... it honestly seemed rude asking him about her. While he seems normal. Yeah. Shit.
I'm going to point out, Neil, I'm just going to say, you are aware that I literally just spent like 10 minutes reading the associated quest based on the place that you went to, right? My head went through all the improv, got through everything, and I was like, cool, I've got the story, I know exactly where this is going to go, except what I didn't expect is for you to buy some fish and then turn around and go back to your room and go, well, I have dinner, now on to our problem. This motherfucker.
I mean, it could have been worse.
Yeah, that's true.
You could have said, okay, now I've got the fish. Now off to see my wife to cook it up for me.
That's true. You could have done
The
that.
wife I don't have.
I think at that point, you probably would have even slapped you.
Yeah.
So yeah, look, honestly, you can pick another number. There are quests for everyone in this book. By the way, in case you ever want to run things in the town of Sandpoint, the Light of the Lost Coast. Now, this is Pathfinder 1st edition, just so you know, but it is filled with very useful things.
Hey, Michael.
Hey, Matt.
Does the conflict have to be a negative conflict?
Nope.
We could go to the Pixie's kitten.
What? Hang on.
The Pixie's Kitten. I do know that. The Pixie's Kitten is the brothel.
But that's not the reason why I want to go. It's, who's in charge of the brothel and their relationship?
That is Kay Tizarani, who is who works with and as part of the Scarnetti family.
Said K. What was it? K.
His name is Kay, Kaye.
Was it? Might not be.
Tezarani.
Yeah.
Tezarani.
Yeah, but it is a front for the Scarnetti family.
Okay.
If we want to deal with if we want to try to ease conflict, that would be one of the places to go.
Eat what? Sorry, you sort of cut out for a sec there, Matt.
Oh, if we wanted to encounter any, might be a place to go.
Okay.
Alternatively, you can do whatever you were planning on doing here. You let us queer quite quickly. I thought you had a plan. Peyton.
I thought the dockyard was an area where lots of like drunk pirates and everything come, so I thought there might be some sort of conflict here.
Drunk pirates here in
I don't know.
Sandpoint.
I mean, at the
Peyton.
Hagfish, I was always seeing people getting into bar fights and stuff. But
Exactly.
Who
If you're
knows that
looking
they
for
would
a
be out-
drunk fight, it would have been the Hagfish. Or a tavern.
is that? Oh, the
or at
Hagfish
the
was
dock.
42 or 45, wasn't it? Or, well, that's where I thought the Hagfish was at, like the docks.
The hagfish is at the docks. It's the hagfish is 34, I think, or 33.
Didn't I say 30?
The hagfish is.
Or maybe I said 35. I don't know.
You could have just said the hagfish.
Oh, true.
Wait, don't you have an issue with the owner of the Hagfish, Peyton?
It does.
Yes. I mean, he did fire
That
down.
would be conflict.
Yeah, but that conflict is way past.
34. 33 is the hagfish. Yeah.
Okay, so it's right over here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Uh, Peyton, don't tell me you bought the fish as a replacement, as a peace offering.
No, I just wanted to be.
Let's try
I
this
just
again.
wanted-
Peyton, I hope you didn't buy the fish as a peace offering to resolve the conflict between you and the person you've got a conflict with in order to try and complete the quest to stop a conflict from happening.
I'm so nervous. I don't know what to do right now.
That was my plan the whole time. Yep. Exactly as you said it. What a clever thing we did. That's
That's
response.
why you brought us.
Being put on the spot is hard.
I know, it's crazy.
Oh,
Trying to assist.
I know. I bought the fish without thinking. Mainly is I bought the fish because I didn't want to like bring up his missing wife and be like, well, I'm an asshole now, you know.
Oh, really?
But-
You're big thug that you want to be this big mean
I
asshole?
know!
And you don't want
Stop
to be an ass?
it!
God fucking damn it.
Oh no!
So now, Evander, where's the entrance to the pit again?
Pick up a new place.
Oh, I'm so tempted to drop a bad guy on you. Like, what can I attack you with? I'm just trying to think. What random thing can I just drop on Neil right now?
Just make the
we still got-
bullet
Piano.
show up and eat us.
Hey Weston, so this is going in circles. Why don't we take you to like a tinkerer or something like Savara or something to look at that to get you a cool accessory for your leg?
Actually, if we're looking to resolve some conflicts, I know exactly where to go. Dag, I'm going to go to that upstart, pissy craftsman that annoyed me when we were looking at the mechanical bird.
Oh, Yep, that was... What was his name?
Navander will join him whilst leaving Peyton and Sidariel in the market square.
And so Daryl just looks at the two of you with pleading eyes, saying, why am I having to babysit him now? Just
You
with a
found
pleading
him.
expression.
Okay, that was... Vovalshi Vum?
Sidariel's like,
The Feathered Serpent. So that is where you're heading. The Feathered Serpent is... number... Here we go. 44.
So, as we're walking there, I'll go to Navander. So things didn't end well here. I was a bit of an ass. I was also very drunk. basically going to apologize, make amends. How do we get the priest involved?
Say you want some mediation.
Mhm.
Say that. If he's comfortable, take him. You can ask to meet him at the church during one point of the day, and you can have Father Xantilis mediate between you and him.
I like that. All right. I will not break his shop. I will not break his shop.
Now, Westonson,
Mhm.
don't be your normal charming self.
As opposed to my least charming self.
Yeah, that one.
Right.
I was saying that sarcastically. I know the dour tone in my voice doesn't throw that doesn't show that sarcasm.
I figured it's because elves can't express it.
As you enter the shop, you are greeted
Whoa.
originally warmly by the smiling face of Vorvashi Voon. Welcome, darlings, to the feathered... Oh, it's you. I suppose you're here to polish your gun on the tables again?
No. No, I was sent here by Father Xantis.
Oh, Father Xantis. The old
yes.
man needs his rheumatism medicine again. Let me just grab it for you.
Oh, more than likely, but it goes a little beyond that. I'm on a path of trying to make amends, and I was wondering if you're willing to sit at a table with me and the Father to act as a mediator, as a way of improving our relationship.
You're kidding, right? This is some kind of joke.
No, it's not.
You think there's a conflict that needs to be mediated here? You came into my shop brandishing a weapon, and I can't remember if you broke things, but
I didn't.
Yeah, but and threatened me in my own store.
This is why I wanted the Father present, in case there's any remediation or other negotiations on the two parts for.
And it never dawned on you once to maybe apologize. No, instead, you want me to shut up my shop so I can come and be mediated in conflict resolution to what? Help your feelings of the fact that you shouldn't be going into stores and threatening the staff? I mean, yes, that sounds like a wonderful use of my time, but you can kindly go fuck yourself. You know what? In fact, if you stick around, I can build you a machine that will fuck yourself, if you'd like, It's, I'll even name it after you. I'll call it the Westonson, That way everyone, who wants to go fuck themselves will know exactly where they can go look.
No. It's
You feel you just lean over, just deck this guy. I'm trying to resolve our conflict, you piece of shit.
hands twitching next to the pocket that has all the alchemist fire in it.
Unfortunately, you can't kill Vovashi because it is Pride Month, and I'm sorry, but hashtag bestie love. Sorry.
I
Can't be
wouldn't
done.
kill him anyway. He hasn't really offended me so much. He's trying, but he's not an elf.
That's fair. He is, however, dating an elf as an elf named Hannah walks in with various herbs and the
No,
like.
that did it.
And they share a tender kiss, and Hannah comes out. I don't know if there's a picture of her. Maybe there is. Hannah Valerin. No, there's not a picture, but I got a picture here. She's actually really cute. Look at this. This is like the cutest elf I've ever seen.
Oh.
Right there you go. So that's her.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she comes out, and she says, "Vorva, my love, is everything all right?" Yes. No,
Yes.
no, nothing the matter at all. And he looks at you as you try to say yes. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
I was just saying I was coming by to apologize and see if you wanted to meet for mediation for my behavior last time. All is fine. I'll be taking my leave. Sorry for disrupting your day.
Hannah says, "Is this the guy?"
I was the guy.
Just yep. Okay, cool. Also get the fuck out. Like,
Yep.
Yep. Cool.
And I'll walk out.
Yeah. All right. Good effort. Very correct. I have a few notes, but otherwise, that's well done. All right. Take 2, Cinderio. Where are we going? Well, take 3, should I say.
Take 3 at this point. Actually, it's take 4.
Yeah, so that's true. So far, we've rekindled a fight. We have bought some fish. Cinderio, what are you doing?
You mean assuming she just leaves Peyton to his own devices?
I mean, you don't have to. You can. I don't know what Peyton's going to do after he has the fish now, but, we'll find out.
Probably just follows Ontario.
Peyton's following around Scenario, fish in his hand. I has peace offering.
Yeah, 2 fish. 1 for one
Peace
hand
offering.
per fish.
Scenario?
I'm thinking. That's the trouble. I'm thinking.
Okay.
Westonson, we came to resolve a thing, not start a new one.
Yep. So, you think this whole 7 dooms were brought on by this young woman to pay back this town? Do you have a newsletter I could subscribe to?
You mean Nualia?
Nualia.
The bitch of Sandpoint. Yeah.
So,
Nualia.
and she was quite conveniently dead before the father got involved. So I guess what I'm kind of curious about is why you're helping the father.
You see, the father has been a standing stone for the community for years. He and Shalelu had a great relationship, a great working relationship, and I think it's more of a traditional sense of, I know Father Xantus has been here for the town. Yes, he's made some mistakes. Raising Nualia was one of them. But overall for the community, he's been a positive example of what Sandpoint could be.
Fair.
However, if this new priest, Father
Ratty.
Maddie? Father Maddie. If Father Maddie could be that pillar for the community, I would stand by him as well. I just haven't tested him, I haven't seen how he works, I haven't seen how he treats others.
This is true.
That is true. Why don't we go and watch what Sandariel was possibly proposing before I just start burning places down and then get arrested as a conflict resolution.
Okay. I think I'm going to go back to what I was thinking originally before the fish. So obviously, given where we were with the fish, that's right beside presumably the market square, which
Yep.
going by the map is probably 35.
Correct.
So, knowing that this is all about showing how Father Xantus can redirect and encourage a better harmony and everything like that, would it be possible for Scenario to try to spot any effectively pickpockets or people pinching from the stalls and all that?
All right.
Thinking like the younger people, and potentially using Father Xantus to potentially put them back onto more of a straight and narrow, potentially becoming little helpers for the stalls instead.
Sure, make a perception check. And chat, can I get you to roll me a d20? And I'm going to quickly grab a soda. I will be right back. Here.
It should be a 24 because I don't believe I'm second anymore.
Well, Evander, tell me, have you looked into the worshipping of an orb?
It's not that thing you found in the pit. Are you still carrying that around?
Well, yes. Why wouldn't I?
Because it could be dangerous. Probably very dangerous. You never know who could be looking at you through it.
I changed my mind. I got a sparkling water with lemon in it because I'm trying to be good. And I know that someone in chat is watching me that knows that I'm currently also trying to be good and watch my weight and not, have too many sugary things.
I mean,
If
you
she's
can watch weight
watching,
go up.
I'm being good. Also love your face. Okay.
So presuming I'm not second anymore from that painful bite from last time,
Mm-hmm.
that is a 24 in perception roll.
Okay. Well, according to the chat, most days the Sandpoint market is empty, save for the odd group of children who use the wide open area to play whistleball, hopscotch, and other games. It's kind of filled with a few vendors here and there, but for the most part, it's very rare to see any items worth more than like 50 gold kind of thing. Clothing and jewelry and all of that are reasonably scarce. Mostly alchemical items, fishing supplies, a few toys and clothing apparel are what you can kind of find throughout here. As you look around, you can also see there are a few caster booths. So traveling spellcasters can sell their services for a reasonable price. And as you kind of look around, the children or the pickpockets and thieves that you were hoping to find are instead just children at play, just kind of enjoying the sunshine and living life as children in this peaceful town. You watch as a bird lands on one of their hands, and all of the children kind of gather around it to admire this tiny, very, very small, like sort of black bird with like this like sort of yellow and red streak over one of its side. All of them gather and they're like, wow! And they're just sharing this very magical moment of their childhood with one another. And they, there and then, they promise themselves to be best friends forever and to never drift apart. And then the bird flies up into the air and disappears into the sky as they all look at it. Then another kid sort of runs past with a balloon, and they all start to chase the kid and continue playing. Cinderella, you're just standing there watching the children. A few of the adults start looking at you, and they start whispering to each other. Why is Cinderella watching those kids? Why is Peyton holding two fish?
The internal monologue for Cinderella is, one, a little bit disappointed that she's currently failing the trial, but two, also pleased the fact that that is the standard life, the fact that these kids are actually having that sort of level of life without having to resort to thievery to success.
Okay.
So obviously she's a bit conflicted, but is it Navander's turn now?
Navander, yeah. Why not? Navander, you are where are you heading? What are you up to? Where are you gonna go?
I'm probably
go?
with Weston,
What you want
and
me
I'm
to do?
taking him to like Savannah or like the Red Dog Smithy or something like that.
The Red Dog Smithy is currently closed. As you recall, the blacksmith was the one who was bitten by the bullet.
Wonderful. Well, then it's probably taking him to Savannah's weaponry and armor.
All right, Savannah's weaponry and armory. Okay, one moment. And the guy's name was Das Corvat. Savannas. Let's see. We are looking at. Oh, I mean, we could do that. Maybe in a little bit. Sandpoint Savories, the Crack Tooth, Bottled Solutions. Here we go. Savnas. Savas. There we go. Number 12 is where we're heading. So that is over here. Okay. The vendor is over here. Cool. Okay. As you arrive, the store is not empty. This building itself has a few scars from the Sandpoint fire. A lot of things that Sava basically says make her building look more rustic and unique. Not wanting to restore it or anything like that. It's still built on new foundations, but like, you know, it's not nearly as pretty as the other houses in the region. Talking to her, however, is what appears to be a knight of some description. With a rather well-trimmed and well-cut beard, and what looks to be very shiny metal plate armor. The figure turns. He says, "Well, as I live and breathe, I thought I'd have to look all the way up and down the hinterlands to find you, Navander."
Oh my God, it's not me.
As he turns, you see a very, very near and dear friend, a man by the name of Oliver. Sir Oliver, to be precise, of the Sable Company Marines. A group of patrolling guardsmen from the lands of Corvosa who used to safeguard the kingdoms and the nations around Varesia. But since the rise of Queen Iliosa, the evil queen as she is known, and the dissolving of the order, much like yourself, Oliver is a long retired member of the Sable Company Marines. His mount's name, by the way, is Ulet. Oscar and Ulet.
Nevada makes his way up to Oliver and grasps his forearm. "What are you doing here? I didn't expect you to see you hanging around Sandpoint."
Huh, why is that? Too quiet and peaceful.
Yeah, exactly. I thought you were up somewhere else in Varesia, where all the action is, like Riddleport or something.
Well, I was. But, there are some rumors stirring to the south. You recognize that he is actually wearing his Sable Company armor.
Trying to relive the glory days, Oliver, or you got some actual business?
More than the glory days, friend. The Sable Company has summoned me. I'm surprised you haven't been summoned.
They brought the Sable Company. They brought the Marines back together.
Last I've heard.
When did they do that?
Well,
I thought they.
as you said, I'd made my way to Riddleport shortly after the plague, and well, from there I hadn't received word until recently. The Marines had been established and spent their time solidifying their strength in Corvosa, but now they're ready to start the patrols again. They're ready to go back out there into the world and be the Marines. You should come. I'm sure, you know, whoever's in charge, I'm sure that now, more than anything, a person of your skill and caliber, and Maizu's as well, it would be a great asset to the company.
Vander strokes his beard. Gives a sigh. Oliver, I'm retired, man. I've got a nice ranch out here. I've had a wife. I mean, business here is picking up as well.
Retired with a wife. Evander. Miracles don't happen.
No, you have not met this woman, Oliver. She runs into a fray of goblins with hellfire in her eyes and lightning at her fingertips.
Oh, right. I can picture her now. Blonde woman. Green eyes. Probably an elven maiden, right?
Listen here, Ollie.
I mean, okay, sure. I'd love to meet your wife. Where is she? I'll say hello and then be on my way.
She's currently visiting her father.
Oh, I see. And her father lives out of town, right? Like, you know, a few days travel, can't get back in time. Look, Evander, if you don't want to come, that's fine. But look, at the very least, you can't pass me off on this nonsense that you're married and you have a house and, you know. If you're old and rusty, just say you're old and rusty. You know, you forgot how to handle a bow and you
those
know,
are fighting words, Ollie.
Oh yeah, I mean
those are fighting words.
I mean,
I will show you that I'm not rusty. In fact, I'm surprised you're out there in all that armor. It's not weighing you down too much.
You can actually see that he's actually put on a little bit of weight, so he's actually you know, like buckling some of it. He looks down and he's like, "Hey, now listen here, you." Like I would run circles around you, even in this shape that I'm in. I could have still done it while you were in your prime, old man.
Old man. Well, this old man has a few tricks to teach you. Sky Jewel? Sky Joust?
Done.
Ooh.
You hear both you and him simultaneously make the same whistle. And as this happens, there's a commotion in the streets. Cinderial, Westerson, Peyton, you can kind of see this happen as you watch the shadow of these two hippogriffs sort of start circling around and making their way down in front of the armory. People are starting to gather, like, just out of curiosity to see these individuals. And goes,
Best of 3 charges? Usual rules?
Yep, but what's the wager?
You know what? I quite like that breastplate. I think it might look better off. Gives you a little bit more room to breathe, my friend.
He laughs and he says, "You sure you have a girlfriend?"
You know what? I'll just take all the armor and send you back to Corvosa naked, Dolly.
What level are you guys?
6.
6. Okay, cool. Done.
Going on grade 4.
And he goes, "All right.
Duel.
And if I win, you come back to the company."
If they want to take a tired old man.
Oh, trust me. They'll take you. All right. Mount up. As this happens, you watch as this, like, sort of speckled white and gray hippogriff, which is Ulat, gets mounted by by Ollie, as Navander Maizu comes up to you and just starts licking you. Definitely a lot less disciplined than Unlat is. So,
Good go. All right, we got Sky Joust. You got this.
all right.
Just like the old days.
So, getting onto your mount, you begin to fly into the air, and people are like, "Ooh!" And as you guys circle around, you prepare to attack. Now, Ollie pulls out what looks to be a large bastard sword.
Ah, he's going straight to sword. Go on. Let's show him how to. Let's show this young kid how to joust. Take out a lance.
Okay. As he looks at you, you begin to charge towards one another. Let's start with a perception check. Oh, well, an initiative check, just to see who gets to go first. Initiative, boom. All right, Ollie gets to go first. So Ollie continues to charge using his Knight's Courage ability. As he does so, he is then going to use his Bastard Sword and try to swing it to parry the lance that Navander is attempting to skewer with. What is your fort save plus... Oh, sorry, let's go with your reflex save.
Alright.
Reflex plus 10. Yeah.
24.
So I need to beat a 24.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Ooh, nice.
Alright, a 26. So, Navander, you take a -2 penalty on your next attack as he steps in and hits the tip of your lance. You try to readjust and recorrect to hit him as you kind of meet in the middle. So, yeah, make your attack.
Wonderful. Let's see. I don't have anything. I won't do anything fancy on this first round. It'll just be fine. Attack. Well, that's unfortunate.
That is
Can I use
unfortunate.
a hero point, please?
Yeah, of course.
Wonderful.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
It's even worse. Oh.
All right, the parry is successful as it is as you are deflected by the blade. At this point, he turns around. You kind of see the big arcing swing as they come around for the second pass. We're gonna roll initiative again just to see how it impacts. This time, Navander, you got the lead as you swing around. Maizu has a tighter turning circle, so you switch and you start your charge.
Wonderful. Let's see if we can get a clean charge. He's going to smile darkly at Ollie as he casts Blur on himself for 2 actions. And then he's going to strike with his lance with the 3rd action.
All right, let's go for it.
So, Blur! Perfect. And then lance. That's a better strike.
That's a good one.
32.
All right, that manages to hit, striking him. Let's see if he stays on the horse.
On the griffin.
Oh, he does not. So he begins to fall, plummeting to the ground. But as he does so, Udlat swings down and grabs hold of him. As he holds himself up, he breathes a few heavy sighs and he says, "Okay, best 2 out of 3." He gives you the full plate, but then, the plate mail, and he says, "All right, listen. If you win this, I'll give you Unlot's collar. Unlot's collar is a magic rune-casted magic item."
Ooh.
Oh, I'm gonna be sending you back naked along with your chicken.
Don't listen to her, baby. He's just a surly old asshole.
On
Okay.
that we can agree.
Now, meanwhile, down on the floor, Cinderio, Westonson, and Peyton. Father Xantus approaches and says, "Have you had any luck? Have you found any conflicts to resolve?"
Well, we've heard some rumors. Or I've heard a rumor, but I didn't get a chance to properly talk to him. And we've just been watching them the whole time.
Is everything all right?
Friendly competition, I think.
I hope so. All right. Navander, you go by and you take your swing as you scream towards the other hippogriff.
All right. 31.
Ooh.
Nice. A 31, you hit him, and once again he is dislodged. Let's see if he can stay on. No!
Oh,
As
no!
you hit him a second time, he collapses, falling to the ground. He, basically goes, no! The fuck?
Nevanda rides up, slides off Mizu.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty good, Oliver. You've actually come a long way since the since Conversa.
He tells you to shut up. You've always been too big for your britches. Always thought you were better than us. Well, you're not better than us, Navander. Think that you've got all things sorted out and what? He's just basically just starting to yell. At which point, Father Xantus steps in and says, "Peace, brother. This individual has been a great part of this community, and it would be such a shame that when one such as yourself who is visiting for the first time wishes to be welcomed, we would like to offer you hospitality, but not if you are going to abuse one of our community members. Do I make myself clear?" The guy looks at the priest and he's like, "Yeah, it's fine. Okay, look, sure." He takes off the collar and hands it to Navander. And he goes, "When I see you next, we're going to duel again, and then you'll be sorry. I'll show them all."
Before you go, Oliver, did you want a drink?
Yeah.
Alright, I know a place. Come on, head out to the Rusty Dragon.
Alright. As you go so, the conflict has been resolved. The question is, was there enough intervention from Father Xantus to count and constitute as resolving the conflict?
I will bring up to Father Xantus about Turk, about the rumors that if you bring up his wife.
He cusses people out?
Yeah.
Okay, yep.
So,
You think he might be possessed by a demon or something?
No, I didn't know how to start the conversation. So I think if maybe you brought it up, maybe he would, be able to talk better about it rather than cussing people out.
Alright, sure. Father Xantus will approach and begin a conversation. Chat, can I get chat to roll me a d20, please? Let's see how he does. Meanwhile, Cinderio, fort save, please.
Imperial's fort save.
That's not bad. Yeah, just the smell of the fish in the fishmongers is, very overpowering. You're good, though. Okay, so we got a few good ones here.
She's put up with the smell of Peyton for long enough.
Yeah, that's fair.
Marcus, can I hear point that?
Okay. Cinderio, you also hear something from nearby. Ah!
Sorry, that cut out a little bit.
Ah.
Sounded like half a sneeze.
It did. Especially with the hand gesture.
Someone seems to be crying out in pain.
And Daryl, being who she's been brought up to be, will go and investigate.
Alright. Let's see. So, across from the fish markets is the Sandpoint meat markets, number 36. So literally across.
As long as they don't cross-contaminate, it's fine.
Yeah. Now, the local butcher, Chod Beverick, runs the Sandpoint meat market. Half of this building doubles as the slaughterhouse for the town, as hunters would bring in their variety of catches before they would be skinned and processed. Now, it is a very well-known fact that during the late unpleasantness, the time of the fire, there was a man who had lost his mind, gone berserk and killed a bunch of people. This man was Jervis Stute, otherwise known as the Chopper. Now, during the events in which the Chopper was at large, unfortunately it is well known that Chod, the name of the butcher, had an encounter with the Chopper, and it was left with only his little finger on one of his hands as the Chopper basically cut through each of his fingers one by one. Now, that is the rumors that you know. When you turn the corner, you find in the back alley where there's this large drain, you see like a big like sort of trash bag filled with meat spilled out over the cobblestone, and you see that there's this man holding and clutching his hands as best as he can while he is calling out in pain. The screams have turned to sort of like whimpers or moans of agony.
Does Sindel recognize this man, essentially as the butcher?
It is Chod Bevak.
You okay?
No! What the hell? He came back! He's back! He got them again! You see that the butcher is traumatized. He then shows you his right hand, because his left hand was the one that lost all the fingers, but his right hand now is also missing everything but the thumb and little finger.
But he was taken care of.
Please, Cinderio.
Sindel will start by trying to at least staunch the blooding from the bleeding fingers.
Sure. Make a medicine check as you attempt to heal the wound.
At least that might make him. If that's not enough, can I hero point that one, please?
Sure. Not that is not enough, but yep, sure, you can hero point it. Unfortunately, your first aid is a little rusty. You believe you've done the best you can.
What do you mean he came back?
He's back. He found me. I don't know how he found me, but he found me. I was just emptying out the offal from this morning, and then suddenly I just heard it. That god-awful whistle sound he makes. It just kept getting closer and closer, and when I reached out to try and stop him, next thing I know, there's a flash of steel, and I've lost 3 more of my fingers. I can't find them anywhere. Have you seen my fingers? He grabs hold of you and starts shaking you. Have you seen my fingers?
That'd be impressive. Shaking with big energy.
I think he's kind of more like grabbing you with his palms with both hands on the sides.
Let's see if that was on either side of the face. With the palms.
Like pinches.
No,
yeah.
just the palms and the ears.
Use a crab.
It took my hand, Jimmy.
Were you working at... Were you... You didn't have an assistant that was trying to do something at the same time, did you?
I don't know.
Does he even have an assistant?
We don't know. No, he doesn't really have an assistant. He's got, like, himself, and that's it, really.
Listen, bud, we got some good news, we got some bad news. Good news, you can retire early!
Yeah. She's in 2 minds about going to look at the workspace to try and help find the fingers. See if someone could help reattach them. and also try to potentially follow or find whoever the hell ran out. Peyton is nearby, I presume, at this point.
Yeah, he's like I said, he's just across he's in the market area.
Very well. So now we'll try to whistle and grab Peyton's attention. Yeah.
Up, coming.
All right.
Peyton, someone might have attacked him. I'm guessing that they wouldn't have gone very
shit.
far.
All right, I'll keep a lookout. I'm guessing you didn't see him come out this way.
I didn't know if you wanted to scout the area while I try to calm his nerves inside.
Yeah, I'll take a look.
All right.
I'm gonna run around and see if I can see anybody with a pair of with 3 missing fingers on them, or just maybe if they have blood on them or anything.
Okay. Make a perception check as you look around, desperately trying to see if there's anyone who has blood stains or anything that would. You do not see anything of that description.
Can I make a hero point or use a hero point?
Sure, of course you can.
Yeah. That's even worse.
All right. Unfortunately, no. Westonson,
Yes.
what are you up to?
I would have been heading. But I've seen Sandariel break off from the group.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
If I did see her, then I would have followed.
Yeah, no, you absolutely would have seen her, and yeah, you can follow into the alleyway, and then again you find the guy.
What happened back here?
That to me?
Yep.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I'm not looking around, so I'm not there.
In part, I'm hoping just a little accident, but this place is a bit of history with losing. And she looks very nervously down at Weston's leg, losing body parts.
Appendages. Yeah.
It's true. Westonson, you immediately start thinking, this was definitely the work of Silver. You there? Where's the creature? I don't know, man. He went that way, I think. Where's the creature? Where's the beast? It be no mortal man that be after you, son, but the snarling jaws of an ivory death.
Which fit into this very narrow corridor and took only the middle 3 fingers of your right hand. It's very precise. Colossal beast.
It's not wrong. Right? Like, it'd just be like,
Comes after your professions.
Okay. Sweet.
So if he was attacked,
Yep.
I'll look around, and I sort of search this alleyway to see if there's any footprints aside from Sandariel Mine and like recent footprints aside from Sandariel Mine.
There's a set of bloody footprints leaving the area.
I start following them.
All right. As you do so,
When I walk out, I grab the cuff of Peyton and drag him along.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. You grab Peyton and you start to move along. All right. As you do so, it does not take you long before you reach kind of like this area of like the city that is kind of mostly like back streets and the like. It's kind of like over here-ish. Now,
All right.
as you are here, I guess you feel something out of the ordinary. Like someone is occupying these buildings and like watching you intently.
I'm going to stay here. I'm going to keep my eye on this alleyway.
Mm-hmm.
I turn to Peyton. I grab you by your chin,
Duh.
and I turn you to look directly at my eyes. Follow these instructions. Go,
Okay.
and I name the pub, and get an Evander and his friend. Bring them here. Do it
Okay.
quickly.
Okay.
All right.
And I will activate my wrist thing to give me even more movement so I can make it even quicker.
All right, done. You zip off. Meanwhile, however, Westonson, the creature or the person looks up to see you.
This is going to be fun.
It's currently in a dark alley, so you don't see anything other than a silhouette, and you hear the sound of scraping, like the scraping of a knife or a bladed edge.
I'll reach over my shoulder and pull my musket axe out of nothing.
Yep.
Look, I hear rumors you struck before.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Don't want any trouble,
All right.
but I have a sneaky suspicion I'm about to get some.
As you say this, the individual turns its gaze upwards, slowly. Okay. And what you see is this face staring at you.
Ooh.
You look like you've had a better day. Fuck.
It then
I back
stands up and chases you.
As soon as he starts chasing,
Uh-huh.
I will shoot.
All right. Let me add him here real quick.
Oh,
You
damn.
didn't have any rock salt in that gun of yours, did you, Weston?
I have a whole bunch of strange and wonderful things. One of them is not buckshot, no, made of salt. No.
Oh well.
All right, make your attack. He is right there.
Ooh.
I need to move his picture to see him.
Can you see him?
Ah, there he is. There's
Yep.
the combat tracker.
Cool.
Yep, that's about right. That
Oh,
checks.
no.
I've made 2 rolls tonight, and they've both been natural ones. I think I'll use a hero point.
Let's
So
do it.
Actually,
You've done 2 rolls and they've both been natural ones. Are you sure you want to admit to that?
I'm actually
Ooh, yeah.
part of me is now wondering if I just sacked the nat 20.
No, I'm more thinking if that's 2 ones in a row.
Third one, and I'm dead. I get the rule. That's why I'm thinking I might just sack the natural 20 and save myself from having to roll a third natural 1. But, you know, life's a lottery.
It's true.
It's not on that one.
Oh.
28.
All right, you're good. Okay, well, as long as it's not on that one, you're good. That's the important bit.
Yep.
All right. So, as you fire your shot, it seems to pass straight through this individual. He rushes over to you with a cleaver and slashes at you. Ignore that. Here we go. All right. As he swings at you, he hits you for quite a sizable chunk of damage and removes one of your fingers. As
Ooh.
it does so, you see your finger drop to the ground. What's your response?
I scream.
Yeah, fair.
Yell out some profanities.
Hmm. Anything else?
I raise a commotion. But what I'm also going to do is, I don't have that anymore. Damn it. I very carefully open my portable workshop.
I figured that out. All right.
I'm gonna reach into my shared pocket with Sandariel, because that's where I carry everything now, and I'm gonna pull out a life shot, and I'm gonna load that into the gun.
Oh, you're gonna stand and fight?
I'm gonna keep him here until backup arrives.
All right. He's gonna chop off another finger. I mean, because one action move, one action chop. But yep, let's do it again. right. Ooh, a critical miss. I don't like that. Let's go for a critical hit. Why not? I've got 2 of these.
Nice.
Not the 2 fingers.
All right. Let's see what happens. Okay, with 34 damage, the cleaver comes down and removes 2 more of your fingers.
All in the same hand?
Yeah, on the same hand.
Okay.
All right, so that is a -3 on all of your dexterity-based rolls. So you know.
Sweet.
Okay. That's all he does. The others are making their way. Meanwhile, up in the sky, Navander is basically being cussed out by this individual. Who's like kind of upset that he lost his jewel. But as you land with a sense of like kind of pride and accomplishment, it's at this point, you know, you kind of hear the sound of commotion coming from the other side of the marketplace. Sindariel, you hear the signal, as does Peyton.
I'm trying to find Navander.
You can see Navander.
If I see you. Navander! We need to go now! Bring your friend!
Something's not right. Oliver, take to the sky. Follow.
Okay,
He
bring
does
your
not.
friend.
He does not ask questions. He just immediately acts and does the same thing.
Seeing that they're now kind of following me, I'm going to take off back to Westinson.
Okay. Sindariel.
Sindariel will make sure that our butcher friend is comfortable and not panicking out.
Mm-hmm.
Before she says, if he's out there, then it sounds as though people have found him.
Mm-hmm.
I should probably go.
He is a little bit panicked. And he tries to kind of stop you, saying, "Don't do it."
Maybe go and speak to. I've already forgotten the
Father
fisherman's
Xantus.
name. No.
Kirk.
Well, I suppose Father Xantus is going to be there with them. I suspect this is going to kick off bad memories. Be with someone, but everyone else is going. I guess I need to go as well.
All right, Sindariel, you tell this guy you sort out your trauma, and then you turn around and you leave this guy.
He's better placed to do it than me, effectively.
That's true, but he's sitting there bleeding like from his fingers as you've run off.
Yeah.
You know?
After I've tried to pack as much gauze and everything else.
Well,
like
I
tubs
mean,
and stuff.
yeah. You basically
tried.
Yeah, you tried. You tried your best. You just didn't do that great. As you rush over and you immediately begin to gather up, Westinson, the figure that stands before you, you've loaded your gun. You can take another shot if you'd like. He just looks at you and he is howling in agony.
So I would like to spend a hero point to do an imbued shot. I've loaded a life shot into the gun, and I would like to imbue it with a potion of moderate healing.
Ooh.
Normally, imbued shot is to put a bomb onto a bullet.
Yep.
I'm wondering if this is purely what Westinson's thinking, because the last time he fought undead, healing did good things against it.
Yep.
So he's thinking healing potion as a bomb, use infused shot.
Sure, makes perfect sense.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's miss. That would be a miss.
That is indeed a miss. All right.
So I will actually spend my credit at 20 to critical on this shot.
Ooh, nice. All right, we'll take the nat 20 on that.
This is super easy. Life shot does 1 point. Then it does 1d6 persistent. Well, we do 2d6 persistent life damage if the healing potion thing works.
It does indeed.
Okay, so he would take 11 points of persistent life damage.
All right.
And then one point of.
Yeah.
Would the 1 go to a 2, though?
I also forgot to ask when you critical. Are you forgetting crit cards?
Oh, yes, we'll have a crit card for you. All right, give us a number between 1 to 5. What do we have?
4.
1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. That is. Nope, he does not have those. Does not have that. Does not have that. Clean through, triple damage.
Ooh.
So that would be 3 base and then another 3 persistent.
All right, done and done. As this is
And my move action, I start backing off a little bit, but I want to keep them occupied.
Nice. As this is positive damage, you watch as his body burns. He looks at you and then screams in agony before discorporeating. You watch as the smoke cloud disappears up into the sky and seems to head towards the northwest of the island. Of the little inlet, sorry.
A couple of beats after he's gone, and I know he's gone, I'm going to drop my musket. I'm going to grab my head and just scream and attempt to field bandage it, because I'm really terrible at medicine, so this is going to go really well.
All right, go with medicine check. The others at this point catch up to you as well.
17.
All right, with a 17, you do not have the skills to reattach your finger.
No,
But
I'm
Father
suffering
Xantus very quickly arrives, healing the wounds of both you and the victim. You have a long story to tell, as does Father Xantus has to tell you this story. This is the story of Jervis Stute, the Chopper, one of Sandpoint's earliest known serial killers. But more on that when we come back next week.
Yeah.
Guys,
that was awesome.
Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for being here. Navander, you have now unlocked the following abilities and items thanks to our secret menu item. The first item is the Breastplate of Valor.
Breastplate of Valor.
All right. Those within 30 foot of you, if they suffer any mental effects that would otherwise get them to act in a non-valorous way, or potentially cause them to act out of like cowardice or whatever, they get an immediate reroll.
So it's kind of like an inspired, like an inspired competence or something like that.
Yeah,
or
correct.
Inspired courage.
Yeah. Then you have the, what do I give you after the things? Was it the boots?
The collar.
The collar, that's right. So the collar currently has a striking rune 2, as well as the flame tongue rune, which gives it a breath weapon.
Nice.
Whoa.
All right. You will also be able to take the symbol of the Sable Company around your neck, which allows you to store Maizu within a pocket dimension held within the locket, and then release it when required.
So are you saying I have a pocket monster now?
Yes.
You
Nice.
can bring it into the caves. I mean, he
Good
has
lord.
been in the caves, but
Yeah.
he can-
Anyway,
And you're telling
that is-
Evander should put his pocket monster into a cave?
So that is what you've acquired.
Thank you.
And yes, thank you again to Cookie Mon Steve for that generous donation, as always. Cool. And Ollie still has a little bit more to do, so we're going to get into him like more next week a little bit. But guys, that's it for the day, however. My name is Michael. I'm the Diddles Gamer. This is my place. This is my face. You can find it here a number of times during the week, playing games, having fun. We're back here next Sunday for Pray for Death, so be sure to tune in for that. And yeah, hopefully we'll get to see you guys there and do more cool stuff. Until next time, however, stay, jeez, I forget my outro. As always, till the next time we see each other, stay well, stay happy, be kind to each other, because why the fuck not, it's free. And until we meet again, game hard, or die trying. Good night, folks.
Bye.